right, get moving, men. I don't want to see anyone walking around. Winners do not walk. Let's see some hustle.
Here we go. Blue 80! Here we go. 180! What's this on? Come on now. Let's go. Here we go. Done. Done. 180! Listen! Hang in there now. Done. Come on now. Let's go. What's this on? Go. Blue 80! Go. Blue 80! What's this on?
Hey, man, that was great. I mean, you had a great day today. The game is really starting to slow down for you, isn't it? I can't wait to see what you're going to do on Sunday.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a healthy Carson Wentz and the world champion Philadelphia Eagles face off with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's get you over to Raymond James Stadium for the home opener. On the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one. This one fielded at the 5. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Wentz now on first down. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 19 carries, 61 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Wentz now on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss a one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Here's Ajayi. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
Credit the tackle to Navarro Bowman.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. first carry here for Charles Sims. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Winston. A dump off to Sims. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now Sims. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30.
Let's go now.
They'll run it again with Sims. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. Let's get it.
Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Conte, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now Darkwa, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now a second down throw for Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Winston. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Illegal forward pass, offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
First catch for the Eagles' leading receiver from a year ago. It's a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz on the move to his left. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. They set up the screen to Ajay. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Let's go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to fourth down. Well, the passing game right now for them not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, and in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready, go. Blue ready.
Here's Darkwa. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. First down, Winston. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here's Winston. Over the middle to Evans. The numbers for Evans a week ago. 5 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, and they've got it here with a first down.
Hey. Ready. Flag 22.
Now they run with Sims. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people hear 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3. Those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on third.
Thinking pass all the way.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So put 3 on the board. A little bit of have a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner, except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On second down, here's Wentz. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Let's go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. Again, they run with Sims. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Chris Long in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. An update from Buffalo. The Bills have taken the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. On play action, it's Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but The defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space, no gain.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him. Here's Weiss. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And the tackle there by Chris Long. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl.
Hey, but we got to confirm, this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. The first down throw for Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
So they look like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Jameis to throw it. Shutting defenders at the 15. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the defensive unit for the Buccaneers as they get set. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting.
He'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Levante David in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. They run with a Johnny, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Eagles send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. On the return, this is Jaquiz Rogers. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Ready, white 25.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And some room to run now. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And some space here. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. This is taken at about the 14. Pushing through the contact. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Play action. Now Wentz. Out to his left. And incomplete. Chris Conte right there to break that one up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's a giant. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Wentz. And that's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a play fake. Wentz. He'll buy some time right. Aguilar has it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Nice movement there by Carson Wentz outside of the pocket, completes another pass. Help me out here, partner. He's not sneaky athletic. He is athletic. How many times do I have to say it?
Yeah, you've been making that declaration for a while, and at 6'5", he ran a 40 of 4.77, so not only big, but he can move.
That's a good time for a quarterback. He and Andrew Luck, similar physiques, similar athletic ability.
To throw is Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On play action, Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Quan Alexander. that's where the return stops. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Sims. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that'll make it third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On third down, it's Sims, and he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This will be fielded at the 17. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Wentz now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Going long here for Walt. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And give him a gain of 37. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not.
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 30. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and the lead is now 24. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing now is Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And now running right through it. Oh, now he bowls him over. And now running right through it. A big play there for Philly. 49 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
On first down, Wentz. Fighting ahead at the 15. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Wentz to throw again. Buying time to his left. Breaks the tackle. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big one. On 2nd and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Quan Alexander coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter, you're going. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Wentz being chased out left. Wiggle, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Levante David, and a short return to the 6-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trust sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. They'll run here with Sims. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll go on the ground. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showed some tough running, but couldn't free much space. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Sims. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And out now come the Eagles. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but
and now here's another interception. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The Bucs on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Winston. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So a change of possession here on the punt. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 17.
Hey. Here we go.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Ertz has it left side. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up on Levante David. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Tight is right. Ready. White 25.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Ready.
On 3rd down, it's Sims. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that will extend this big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the 4th down in New Orleans. And the Browns, they've surged back to take the lead there. Tyrod Taylor, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Single. Let's go.
Wentz now on 1st down. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Noah Spence in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Wentz. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Levante David. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And room there to work it inside the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Ready. Blue ready. Ready to go. Ready to go.
On 3rd down, it's Sims. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
We get a glance at the Buccaneer defense as they file into position. They are looking to preserve this shutout, so for them, a lot on the line.
A lot on the line, a lot of pride that goes into that. Because let's face it, when you've had that kind of a day, you do not want any type of a fluke play to end it. You're going to win the game. That's not the issue. But to have a clean ledger going into the locker room.
And that's caught inside the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Shorty, he'll kill. Here we go. Blue 80.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up on Levante David. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys who's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Bucs, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts.
go, let's go. On the hop, fellas, on the hop. Who wants it? Let's see some hustle out there today.
Here we go, back man. 280. What's your son? Here we go, back man. 280. Here we go. Hang in there now. Done. Come on now. What's your son? Go. 280. Done. Here we go. One. Come on now. Let's go. Here we go. 180. Done. Here we go. 120.
You know what, man? That was pretty darn good. And you know what really gets me excited? The fact that I know we can get better. You guys have so much room to improve still. That is exciting. Let's go out here and next practice, let's improve.
Go. 280. What's that? Here we go. 120. What's that? Here we go. 280. What's that? Here we go. 280. What's that? Here we go. 120. What's that? Here we go. 280. Here we go. 180. What's that? Let's go. Done. 280. What's that? Let's go. Great. Here we go. 120. What's that? Let's go. Come on now. Let's go. What's that? Here we go. Back man. 280. What's that? Come on now. Let's go. What's that? Let's go. Great. Come on now. Let's go. What's that? Go. 280. What's that? On the ball. Go. 120. What's that? Come on now. 20.